Good evening, all you overthinkers, and welcome back to another episode of The Space, a podcast that turns mindfulness on its head. I'm your host, Casey Donovan, together with our writer, Amy Malloy. Tonight's theme is Let's Do This, with mindfulness tips for motivation and focus. In this episode, we're going to talk about counterfactual thinking. WTF is that? You've probably done it 1,000 times without even realising it. Counterfactual thinking involves thoughts of what might have been. There are two ways to counterfactually think. Wow, that's a bit of a tongue twister. Thanks, Amy. Downward counterfactuals are when you think about how it could have been worse. Upward counterfactuals are when you think of how it could have been better. So, how can it help us? If it's done without judgment, it can help us feel grateful for where we are. Or it can help us identify where we'd like to be. Take a moment to think about your current situation. What's an alternative situation that could be worse? What are you grateful for right now? What would you miss if you didn't have it? A space, a place, a person, or an opportunity. Feel grateful for a choice you made, a conversation you had, a chance meeting in an elevator. Take a moment to thank yourself and feel proud for yourself. You could be living in an alternative scenario, which wouldn't make you feel as grateful as you are now. Now dabble in some upward counterfactual thinking. This is a tough one to do without criticising yourself. How could your situation feel better? What could help you increase your resources? What could boost your satisfaction? This isn't about beating yourself up. It's about identifying your desires. What steps could you have taken to get that outcome? Could you take any of those steps now? If yes, it's better late than never. If no, it's time to let it go. The past is in the past. It's time to return to step one and feel grateful for what you have. There is one more version. It's called semi-factual thinking. This is where you think of an alternative scenario, which would still lead you to the same outcomes. There's comfort in knowing that. Knowing that whatever you did, you'd still be here, exactly where you're meant to be. Semi-factual thinking can help with the pandemic. For most of us, there is nothing we could have done. On New Year's Day 2020, you couldn't have made a resolution which would have stopped this chaos. Sometimes, no matter what we do, we were always going to end up here. So release your grip. Stop clinging. Stop blaming. Stop judging. You are exactly where you need to be, even if you'd rather be elsewhere. And this won't be your reality forever. Sometime in the future, today will be the middle part of your story. The bit before the good bit. The bit before it got better. But the best antidote is acceptance. This is where we are. And that's a fact. I'm Casey Donovan, and you've been listening to The Space, a podcast written by Amy Malloy. If you like what we do, subscribe or follow, and please drop us a review. And dive into our past episodes for all of your emotional needs. Until next time, space out.